There are lots of people on here who have had great losses and have had great challenges. And, you know, I never have the feeling when they're talking to that, there is such a compassionate feeling that comes through. It's like they just want us to know we're held, and that if we can just realize that every experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly, they are expanding the universe through it. It isn't the good, happy things that make all the expansion. It isn't like that when we're doing all that good stuff, we're doing what we're supposed to do, we're expanding the universe. No, all of it is expanding the universe. Why do you think our world has the crap on it that it does? It's all part of expansion. It's all experience. It's all giving us the fodder to navigate and figure out our highest good, our ability to hear and listen to that part of ourselves that we now can actually say we are realizing that that is part of us. It isn't that we are connected to it, because if it wasn't here, we would be dead. It is us. The breath of life The breath of life is within us. That is the heart of the Creator. And that is that power when we breathe into that heart space. In my meditation today, I kept trying to practice to bring myself into that space. And I'm confused about it, honestly. I mean, that's kind of a go into your heart. Well, what does that mean? But I kept trying to literally put my attention into the space behind my chest wall. And when I would dip into there, I would start to feel stuff. And then I would come out. And I thought, okay, so they're trying to get my attention about that. The heart is the portal. Love is the medium. The heart is the portal. Our journey is gentle, and this is our journey. Those words are so powerful and so true. So, so true. Go ahead, Carla.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Um, First of all, I feel what Brenda says. And as you say, I believe that many of us who are here today have had losses and important losses in our lives. And this is part of the reason we are here today, I guess. And so, first of all, I would just to give a short comment about the fact that for me, the journey have been to find the meaning in all these hard experiences, challenges of life. And for any loss and for any challenging moments, when you find that meaning for yourself within your heart, then it makes it easier to go forward, to continue with your life. And then the question I had for the guides is that lately, during my own channeling processes through writing and lately through voice, I have been like receiving a constant message about the power of choice that we have. So sometimes it is confusing because, yeah, I'm a recovering Catholic, as always Alex says. So for all my life, I had this idea that, yeah, God had a plan for me and I have no choice about it. So I have just to follow the path and whatever it came to me, and I had no choice, any choice at all. And it felt like that for a while. But lately, the message I'm receiving, particularly when I am experiencing something difficult or challenging or confusing that I don't understand or that I try to reject, like as an instinct, then they always bring me, yes, like you have to live this. And now you are in the midst of it, so live it. But now that you are living it, decide what you want to experience next. It's like, okay, now that you are in this situation or that you're living this struggle, now that you have the awareness of it, now you can choose. What would you like to experience next? And this is always the message. So this makes sense in a sense, but gives me confusion on the other. So if there is any clarity, they can bring about it, about our power of
What are
choice.
you're so what exactly, let's boil it down. You're confused about your ability to choose different,
In the
or
sense, because maybe, yeah, maybe I'm missing a part. When they say choose what you want to experience, it's not just about, okay, change your behavior if you don't want to be, I don't know, if you're fat and you want to be thin, just change your behavior. It's not really about, it's like they tell me to create in my mind the vision of what I want to experience next. So
mm,
create that reality within myself, even if it's not the reality I'm seeing outside of myself,
mm-hmm.
and created it in my mind. And this is the way I choose. So this is my power of choice resides in the ability to create that vision within my heart, within myself, and then believe it in a way. So believe that that vision will be like your next
Sweetie,
experience.
you if you think about it, you're doing a beautiful job at describing the sandbox method that my guides gave me. They
Yeah,
said that when you're in a moment, let's
yeah.
compare the two things. So when you're in a moment of distress, whatever it is, let's say we just don't like the moment. My guides said, take the reality that you're seeing in front of you and in your mind, toss it into the moat. So just with your intention, you just say, no, I'm not going to wallow in this. This is what it is, but I'm boom. I'm just not going to think about that. I'm going to jump over my moat into the sandbox that is the sandbox that's going to raise my frequency, because this is all about frequency. Now that we all know. There's not a question that we all understand that the higher we maintain our frequency, the frequency of expectation, nope, that's the wrong word. Anticipation. The frequency of anticipation. When we are maintaining that frequency, which is the frequency of love, the frequency of knowing, of okay, so I got to clean the toilet, but I'm still going to be happy while I clean the toilet, whatever it is. That's that sandbox method. You're saying exactly that, honey. I think it's
Okay.
exactly right. I would say the one thing I would invite you to is, don't no, don't say don't, because that's not right.
Yeah.
Consider consider that. I remember the beautiful lady that I talked to whose husband was going through cancer. And we were talking about the sandbox. And we said, jump over the moat into the sandbox of, you're celebrating your 50th anniversary. They've been married now probably in their 20s. And you see that day, you see cutting the cake, and you see whatever, and you can work on that energy. But there's times when picturing that is going to trigger the human reactive emotions of, but he's sick and I'm scared because he's sick and I love him and I want him to be here when we've been married 50 years. If that is the truth of that present moment, that's when I say, have the fantasy like I do about my unicorn. Have something that is so far removed, but that you can take your mind into a circumstance of smells and textures and feelings and all of that stuff. Use as many of your senses as you can to experience that beautiful moment, and the awe and the joy and the fun and the wonder of patting that beautiful unicorn, just to feel what that would feel like. My guides have given me that if you can't do this, do that. Because whether or not I'm pretty sure that in this dimension, In this timeline, in this incarnation, I'm probably not going to get on the back of a unicorn and ride into the stars. I believe there's a dimension where I will, but in this one, I'm probably not going to. But it is filled with magic and potential to think about. So, whatever feels that way to you, the feeling of the potential, of the awesomeness, my guides have said to me that we don't have to be so specific to know that the next thing I want to have happen is I want blah blah. We don't That's an awful lot of responsibility, Carola. I That feels a little heavy to me. So I think what being brought to is you get to choose moment by moment. You get to choose. Do I sit in this moment and fight in my head over and over and over with this person me off and blah 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 blah, or do I choose to take that, throw it into the moat, and jump into a fantasy in my imagination, because that was imagination. I was imagining what I would say and how I would say it, and by God, I'd get my point across. Rah, rah, rah. That's all imagination. It's called worry, but it's imagination. So why isn't the working in our imagination to pretend that we sprout wings and we can just fly over the top of the trees? What would that feel like? The wind in our face and the sun and the smells and the, you know, they are definitely calling us to the truth that every moment is filled with its own potential. Remember the thing they've given me about all of those timelines, infinite timelines that we are riding our boogie board on. We're on that boogie board, and according moment by moment, are we thinking the happy and the good, leading us in those timelines that have all that good stuff that we want? Or are we having a bad day and did we go down, suck down the rabbit hole of the rah, 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 rah? Every moment we have the ability to shift. Every single moment. You do have the choice. But you don't have to be responsible for all the details. Think of it as the frequency. What do I feel right now? I want to feel love. I want to feel magic. I want to feel joy. I want to think of puppies and kitties and unicorns and rainbows and magic and flying, and I want to lift my vibration, because that is me on that boogie board coming to the end of the spectrum where I want to be, where all the dreams are coming true, where all the joy is happening. And that is the object of the game. That is the object of the game. So you're doing perfectly well. And it is absolutely okay sometimes, I think. You know, say, I get pissed at my guides. I don't know if you've experienced that yet, but when they tell me something that I don't get, I'm like, or like when they blew me up at the damn door, I was not very appreciative of that particular moment. I didn't like it. They blow me up and then they show me at the beginning coming through again. And I said, but you know what I did say to them? I said, I love my family. I love my kids and my grandkids and my husband and my friends. I want my people. We will have our people. Our people, they showed me this beautiful collaboration of energy that Mike and I have traveled together probably in every configuration out there. He's probably, man, woman, all of it. We've done it all. We've been every relationship. We've been the bad person and the good person. We've done it all. That they showed me that in a blink, but that still said, I still want to live out my life. I want to live out this life. I love this life, and I want to do it as happy and as joyful as I can. So I think we're on a pretty good road.